Hello everybody, I am Hoardergamer, and this is Hoarder's Comic Flex. I hope you all had a delightful day. See, I shouldn't say things like that, because you could be watching it live, or you could watch it at your leisure. So it may not be day, it may be night, and I could be talking about a different day than this is actually being recorded. So I probably should not do that. So we got some comic books tonight. Comic book reviews, that is. We're also going to talk about some toys, some video games, and I'm going to try to be as entertaining as I possibly can. Hello, Hero Mentor. How you doing? Wow, 4 waves. That's serious. That is a wave apocalypse right there of emojis. We're going to start out with a brand new book, as in an issue 1. And there's no reason for me to do this, but why not? When we have an issue 1, I'm going to go issue 1. There. Oh, shit. Hold on. I'm moving myself. I don't want to move myself. There we go. That's better. Instant calamity, everybody. Instant calamity. Just... I'm moving myself. To tears, maybe. No. Nightclub. Okay. Anyone notice that name, Mark Miller? Ring a bell? Kick-Ass? Nemesis? A ton of the other huge popular comic books? Well, this is his new book, Nightclub, with art by Juanan Ramirez. And it's a very interesting take on what could be superheroes, could be supervillains. We're not quite sure at this point. Again, only get 5 when your intro involves an impression. I don't have any impressions today. Not today. Maybe that's something I can work to, Hero. We can get up to that impression point. So... you have a young man who is just trying to become rich and famous, so he turns to YouTube, and he basically gets on top of a skyscraper with his bicycle and 2 of his friends, and he wants to try doing tricks. Things go terribly wrong. Not a skyscraper, a tall building, though. Things go terribly wrong. Ends up in a hospital, basically physically broken. Like... possibly nearly critical, hard to say exactly. While he's in the hospital, all of a sudden his nurse freezes right where she is, and we notice that there's a figure in his hospital room. This person goes over and bites the young man. Next up, young man wakes up at this person's house/lair, finds out the person's a vampire. He's a vampire now. And this mysterious man basically is trying to get an army together. And he's looking for people that are physically broken. Like, you know, they won't be able to live a normal life again. People that are near death. And that's who he's turning into vampires. So it's pretty interesting. We don't know why yet. And he goes back to his friends at the end and is like, hey, we're going to be rich. And he's dressed up in this outfit right here. He is the one, the thinner gentleman that is, let's see, on the left-hand side. I'm a little confused because my cover is different. So I was basing the identification of the 3 characters on my cover, but then no 5s. You are very, very discriminating. That does not mean you're discriminating against me. That just means I like it really well. You know, I like the best. Only the best for Hero Mentor. That's what you're saying. But yeah, I think this is good. It's a good first issue. And here's a shocker. It's $1.99. Average comic books right now are between $3 and $4.99 a piece. So $1.99, you know, the intro book, of course. And I'm interested to see where it goes. I want to know why the luchador masks. That hasn't been explained yet. And this would lead us to think that he and his two friends are all vampires. Okay? As a nightclub, right? So far, it's only the main guy. So I'm interested to see what happens to them. And this mysterious man, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Did he have some sort of connection to the young man he bit? Where does he get this information about these people that come to the hospital? Is there someone at the hospital that tips him off? How does this all work? You know? I'm interested in finding out. And for $1.99, I was able to find out a bit, as in the first issue. So I like Nightclub. I think it's good. Especially with the artwork and the $1.99 price. I'd say it's must-have. I would highly recommend it. And if you like Mark Miller, you know, like incredibly violent and like surprising, crazy stuff, I think you'll enjoy it. Although for the most part, the one didn't go in completely nuts. It's more like, you know, vampire biting people, you know, not like just madcap violence or anything. So let me put this back in a grave, even though I think that makes maybe no sense with this book, because he doesn't seem to have to sleep in a coffin or anything. So, but yeah, let me just put this away. Everybody, that was our first review, Nightclub by Image Comics. Okay, we have an upcoming review, and it's, as you can see, it's BAS. It's BAS right here on the right hand side. Okay, it's Batman Spawn. There you go. There you go, Batman Spawn. But that'll be a review upcoming. See, that's how I try to get you to stay. Although, you know, you can just fast forward too, right? So, why even bother, really? So, next up, we're going to talk about video games. The gaming of videos. The thing I spend way too much time on. So, first up, Marvel's Avengers, everybody. There is a new path to power. You heard me correctly. A new path to power. To power. To power. You can now take Bucky Barnes and you can get him to level 165 by using a new storyline. I forget the term they use. Like a mission log, basically, of missions. And once you get through, Bucky at 165. I learn as I go. I learn as I go. Always learning. ABL. Always be learning. But no, I think that's awesome, because one of the big issues I have is they drop a really cool character. Mission chain. Those are the exact words. Yes, Hero Mentor. Thank you. Thank you. That's the exact wording. Anyway, the mission chain will allow you to hit 165 instead of taking like 3 or 4 months to do so. They actually mention in their write-up on the Marvel's Avengers website that, yeah, if we didn't do this, it would take you months. So they know the path to power is absurd per character, but maybe this is a way to possibly change it a little bit, you know? And getting more people playing Marvel's Avengers is a good thing. I will just say, though, just keep an eye on your wallet, right? We don't know how long they're going to support the game. You could be buying like delicious fresh skins tomorrow, and maybe they'll pull the plug in April or March. You know, we don't know. We do not know. And based on an awesome article that Miller wrote, Miller Ross, we honestly have no idea. It's possible we might get Shuri, She-Hulk, Ironheart, and Captain Marvel. And my hope is that we get, you know, a really cool 2023 where the game burns brightly. Burns so brightly, it's a blue star. Blue burns more than red. Anyway, and then a Thanos snap in 2024. In 2024. So that's really what it sounds like right now. They have not come forward and said anything from Avengers, whether this is correct or not, which a little worrying, to be honest with you. A little worrying. We can also look at Miller and say that he has an excellent track record. So I would believe he's, if not 100%, probably at least like 95%. And if any only discrepancy would be based upon changes that were made within like the last few weeks to a month or something, you know, recently. Because, you know, sources can only have information to a certain point. They're usually not, we know everything up to the day. That would be pretty crazy. So, there's the path to power. And then, all my Gothamites, Hero Mentor, looking at you. And me. I'm a Gothamite. I enjoy Gotham Knights. You could say I'm a Gotham Knight Gothamite. I don't know why you would say that. You could. Like, legally, you could say that, right? Like, I don't care. Go ahead. Why not? No skin off my nose. But that game now has taken the open world and upscaled it to level 40 gear and above. So, one of the issues is they put in this really cool dungeon, 30 floors. You got to the bottom floor for the best loot, and then you basically had to just constantly redo the 30th floor. You know, and maybe if you wanted a slight discrepancy in your loot numbers, you could be like, okay, I'm going to do 38, 39, and 40. I'm sorry, 27, 28, 29, and 30. We'll say that. You know, but still, that's taking 30 floors of this cool dungeon and being like, just stick on 2 or 3 of those. But now the open world has been updated. And yeah, we can get really cool gear as we patrol. So I'm really happy to hear about that. Plus, The Witcher happens to have a next-gen update. Series X, PS5, I'm guessing PC as well, and it's supposed to be really good. Like, early talk about it is like they did a fantastic job with this update. So, also, if you own The Witcher, the update is free. So you just have to own The Witcher. I guess if you don't own it right now, you could buy it, you know, and then you get the free update. But yeah, Witcher 3 is going to have this cool update, and I believe it's technically tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. Could be today, but I think it's tomorrow. Finally. Actually, no, not finally. We got one other thing before finally. We're not quite at finally yet for video games. Hogwarts Legacy had a behind-the-scenes, you know, like, kind of what are we gonna do in this game type of thing going on. And they showed combat in one of the Death Eater arenas, I believe it was called. And it looked cool. It looks cool. But I will say this, the magic is much more showy in the Forspoken demo than it is in the new Hogwarts Legacy that they showed. They showed about 8 minutes of fighting. And yeah, it looks very good. And it's exciting because it's the actual spells that are in the books and in the movies. So that's really cool. Plus, here you're able to use curses and the killing curse. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty insane because this area is meant for that. It's like a challenge that you do, a wave-based thing. And hopefully they add on to that because they finished it in like 6 minutes and it didn't say if there was like, you know, wave round 2, round 3, if there were different versions or if it's just that one challenge, you do it once and you're like, oh, that was fun. That was fun. Because I don't feel a lot of the game is going to let you kill people. You know, it's Hogwarts Legacy. It's based on like the Harry Potter franchise. So using, I believe it's Avada Kedavra, I think is how you say it. Like that's the killing curse. You're all fine. I did not just kill anyone watching this video. Don't worry. You're all fine. Because you have to like have a wand, I believe, and you have to say it like with conviction. You don't just like say it, right? Like if you've seen the Harry Potter movies, they're not just like mumbling the name of the spell. They're using a lot of conviction. And there's that wand dancing in their hands, you know? One thing we have to say though, if we bring up Harry Potter or Hogwarts Legacy, is unfortunately J.K. Rowling is what is called a TERF and has huge issues with the transgender community. And recently, through Twitter and other forums like that, has said some questionable things or agreeing with questionable people about the other LGB community. So I don't know what's going on there, but definitely know that if you're thinking about purchasing the game, I am going to purchase the game and stream it on my Twitch. However, I will be giving a donation to the Trevor Project in an amount more than what J.K. Rowling will receive for my copy of the game. I'm going to try to, you know, spread that idea to other people, and hopefully that will catch on. Now, finally for gaming, we have something a bit more upbeat. As upbeat as hell can be. Diablo 4, everybody. There's going to be a showcase on the 15th. So on, let's see, tomorrow. My God. There's a showcase tomorrow for Diablo 4. And you'll be able to pre-order a crazy version, which like comes with candles that don't really work. And an art book. And a really cool box that it comes in, but no game. But if you're into Diablo, I am. It looks like it's going to be a pretty cool box set. I don't know. We'll have to see it like when they give us more details. Hey Doom, how you doing? But more excitingly, they're going to take us through Diablo 4 and do like a deep dive of it. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. Even more so than the pre-order going live for the Diablo 4 Special Edition. That's the new thing, everybody. Like, here's some cool items for you, but no game. No game. What's really weird, too, is, like, the only version they've shown comes with a mouse pad. If you're getting this game on console, you don't really need a mouse pad. So, that just seems weird to me. It seems like that version should then have the PC version that it comes with. I don't know. Doom, it's good to see you. You don't have to be sorry for working. Well, I'm sorry to hear that work is killing you. I will try to be entertaining. I will do my best to entertain. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's basically all the gaming news for this week. So we are done with gaming. Now it is time for us to toy around. I'm ready to toy around, everybody. Are you all ready to toy around? First up, one of the best pictures I think I've ever seen of a Star Wars Gamorrean guard. Made famous from Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Right there. Look at that. Look at that. Fake fur. Okay, there's some fake fur there. There's 2 axes, not just one. So he doesn't have an axe to grind. He has 2 axes to grind. Also, look how crazy he looks with his mouth open. The price is a little crazy too. He's $34. But I do think as the 6-inch figures go, it's pretty neat. I do like it. I've always been a fan of the Gamorrean Guard ever since I was a kid and first saw Jedi. I'm in your AirPods? Excellent. I've infected the AirPods. Hey, Misplaced, how you doing? I appreciate it. I appreciate the lurk. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, this actually, I believe, goes live, I think, tomorrow. $33.99. $33.99. But I think you're really paying for, like, that faux fur. And then the fact he's got the 2 axes, not 1. They could have probably taken $5 off if that was, you know, no fur instead of faux fur. And maybe another $1 or $2 off with just 1 axe. You know, who knows? Who knows? I'm going to send him back to Jabba's palace now. See, that was a decent, you know, segue to get rid of the picture. Did that one pretty well. Okay, next up, we have more Star Wars, everybody. Oddly enough, there weren't too many big announcements this week on toys. Boba Fett. A very cool looking, and I love the color palette of this 3.75-inch figure of Boba Fett. Now, here's the issue I have with this. 2 things. It's a Target exclusive, and this not 6-inch figure, not 6-inch, 3 3/4 inch, is $22.99. When in the world did 3 3/4 inch Star Wars figures become $22.99? Even more surprising to me, Target as like the lowest price for like Transformers and like some of the McFarlane figures and things like that. Why in the world is this $22.99? I mean, I think it looks great. Don't get me wrong. But I think at that price, it'll look even greater if you can get it for like 12 or 13 at a, you know, clearance, because no one bought it at full price. $22.99. Like at first I thought he was a 6-inch figure. And I was like, oh, that totally makes sense. That's, you know, that's how much they are. They're between $19.99 and $24.99 for a 6-inch action figure. I think McFarlane might be 7-inch scale, but you get the idea. But yeah, I mean, it looks really cool. He's got 2 guns, including the pistol. But man, that price is loony. I'm sending him back to a galaxy far, far away. And now, what's been happening today with Hasbro Toys, they have been accused of high prices. Well, look who else is here. It's Ronan, the accuser. You can be like, hey, your prices are too high. What's wrong with you? You know, that could maybe Ronan is saying that. You don't know. You don't know. You're also wondering, why is he in the green outfit when, like, you know, the darker-ish purples and all that look better on him? I don't know either. I love his weapon, his hammer type weapon. I don't know if he ever said exactly what that is called, but yeah. So he is, I believe, $33.99, but he is a 6-inch figure with a gigantic weapon. And it could be that he's larger than he looks, if that makes any sense. Like, it's hard to get a a bead on how big this guy is based on the box that they showed for it, because it's an oversized box. So maybe he's like 8 inches tall. Then that kind of price makes much more sense than 3 3/4 inch for $22.99. Spring, it's good to see you. How are you? Everything is high priced. I know, but some things are just insane. Like, there's no one. I didn't find anyone in any of the responses on Twitter for that Boba Fett figure that thought that was a sane price. That thought that, like, almost no one was looking to get it. Which is a shame, because it's a really good Boba Fett figure. There's two. One that's very much comic book coloring, which I did not like. I didn't have a picture of that, so I could have gotten one, but I didn't like it, so I didn't want to show that one. And then there's a second one. They're both from the comics. They're just different styles, and it's just at that price, man. If I'm at a store and I see a 3 3/4 inch figure that's $22.99, and then I see the Spin Master, right, for like Black Adam or Batman or Superman, and those figures are the same size with accessories, okay, and they charge only $7.99, what am I going to purchase? Like, I just don't get it. Because, definitely prices have gone up, totally. But, like, there's still this weird imbalance between other companies. Okay. And now I accuse Ronan of having a lackluster color palette compared to how he looked in the Guardians of the Galaxy's movies and the MCU as a whole. That's what I accuse Ronan of. I'm sending him to nowhere. Yes, I appreciate everyone being here. Thank you very much. Well, I'd say we're done toying around for this week. There are no more toy pictures underneath me. So that means there's just no more toying around. Now it is time for the future of comic books. The future all the way to 1 week from today. First up, we have Something is Killing the Children, number 27. This is one of the best horror superhero comic books out there. Think something on the lines of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And it took a hiatus for 3 or 4 months. And I might have even covered issue 26 coming out like last month. But I really love this book, and I feel more people should read it. It's awesome. It's awesome. And basically the main character here, Erica Slaughter, she's going to be going against the Duplicitype, which is a creepy, monstrous thing that can make itself look like a person. And that's the first monster that could actually look like a human being. And a nightmarish assassin has been sent from the House of Slaughter to take her down. They've gotten orders from the House of Slaughter. She was actually sent from a different house. There's different houses of these supernatural hunters all over the world, basically. Is Hero Mentor still here? I don't know. Hero was here. I feel like we're calling him out, though, now. Is he still here? Hey, Mike, how you doing? Wow, he left. Now you're calling him out. Oh, she's awesome. She's awesome. If anyone knows who Maximum Claire is, a really cool person on social media, very creative, makes amazing outfits, and I believe co-owns a gym. She's super cool. I honestly think she would be phenomenal for cosplay of Erica Slaughter. But yes, something is killing the children. And it's not Erica, it's the duplicitype. So hopefully she'll be able to defeat the duplicitype. We can hope. We can hope. Next up, Mary Jane and Black Cat. And this is one of my favorite covers by Peach Momoko. There's certain things that Peach does where I'm just like, oh, I like that other artist more. I'm going to go with that cover. But this, I think, is phenomenal, and this is the cover I'm going to try to pick up. Basically, you have a Mary Jane and Black Cat 5-issue limited series taking place during the Dark Web story arc, which is going on right now. So it's going to be an interesting and fun adventure, and it's the same writer of the one-shot between Mary Jane and Black Cat that was fantastic, Jed McKay. So this could be a really cool miniseries, and issue 1 comes out next week. So I definitely wanted to bring this up because that single issue was so good that actually getting a miniseries is nice. And besides doing Moon Knight, Jed McKay is doing a ton of different miniseries. He did a Iron Cat, I believe it was, which is like Black Cat in like an Iron Man type suit. And now there's Mary Jane and Black Cat. Finally, we got something that costs some money, people. We got something that is pricey. But when I tell you how big it is, you'll understand. This is the She-Hulk Omnibus. Okay, that's Marvel's fancy word for saying all of it. So this is the Dan Slott run of She-Hulk. And I believe it is like 37 issues. And this book is over 700 pages. It's huge. And you can get on Amazon, I want to say for 80 or 90. It retails at 100. So you might be able to get like a 20% discount and pick it up for 80. I don't expect a much larger discount due to the cost of the book. But yeah, this is Adi Granov artwork on the cover. This was a really popular visual for She-Hulk, even beyond the first issue when it came out. So, but yeah, Dan Slott basically had a lot of the whole concept of her being the lawyer for superheroes. And elements that you saw in the She-Hulk Disney Plus series, a lot of them came from here. The fourth wall breaking was really Byrne, not really Dan Slott. I think he might have done a little as like a homage. But yeah, a lot of it came from here. I like the omnibuses. It makes it easier for you to collect unless I'm collecting for covers. Then I buy those individually. I think they're great too. This will actually be like the first one I get because as you may have heard, they're not cheap. But this one came out in 2019 and sold out in 2 or 3 months. So at that point, I was like, okay, if I can find a really good discount price, which I was able to, 20% off, I'm going to get this damn book. Because then it was selling for hundreds of dollars. It was lunacy. And I was like, if it ever comes back into print, which now it finally has in the 2022, that's okay, Doom. I appreciate you being here. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the character She-Hulk. The Dan Slott run is great. And here you get all of it. Plus you might get some like extra issues too that tie into that. Usually omnibuses aren't just the run. They're usually, maybe there's an annual or maybe there's something else too that's, extra. But yeah, it's like, I think 760 pages or something. It's huge. It's huge. Everybody, I hope you all know what time it is. If you don't, I will tell you. It is time for me to prime the pump. I'm priming the pump right now for your suggestions, for your questions. TV you want me to cover, video games, comic books. Keep in mind, I try to focus mostly on comic book related when it looks at those things, but it doesn't always have to. It can also be genre. So, like I think I talked briefly about Wednesday last week. I think I did that. In case you missed that and you're hanging on my thoughts, I liked it. I liked it. Well, now that I have primed that pump, it is time for our final review. This might be one of the shortest episodes, by the way, which is wild because we have 2 comic book reviews. We had toys, we had comics. Wild. Here it is, everybody. This event is like years in the making. And if you'll remember, it was Batman Spawn and Spawn Batman. One released by Image, one released by DC. And they came out like 20 years ago. They released a graphic novel of that, I think 2 or 3 months ago. It's in hardcover, and it's relatively short, so it's like a $20 hardcover. But now there's Batman Spawn. And I like it. And if you're a big fan of Batman and Spawn, I highly recommend it. But it is a bit confusing. One thing that I don't recall from reading Spawn when I did is the concept of something called the dead zone. And in this book, it makes them seem really goofy. And it's the idea that, like, if Spawn is 10 feet away from you, and he's in a dead zone, then he doesn't have his powers and Batman can beat the hell out of him. That idea is used like 3 times in this book. And it comes off as goofy. Now, there's things that don't come off as goofy. Greg Capullo has done excellent art. Excellent art in this book. And there's this really interesting vibe, this whole concept that isn't fully explained, which is a little confusing, that someone is altering reality and made it seem like Wanda Blake, Spawn's wife, dies at the exact same time, in the exact same day that Bruce Wayne's mother is killed. And that basically gets Spawn and Batman to meet in the anniversary in Crime Alley. Now, bring in the freaking Court of Owls, everybody. The Court of Owls are involved in this and basically trying to have Spawn take out Batman. It's a little confusing. I really feel it would have helped if it was a 3-issue series as opposed to one larger issue. But it's cool. Like, there's insane, like, action. There's this moment where one of the pearls is found in Crime Alley, and Bruce is like, how is this possible? So there's almost like this altering of reality, if not a ripple in time and space, and it basically involves the Violator working with the Joker. Like, it doesn't... it feels like the beginning of a story arc, not like a one-shot. It's wild. I think it's definitely worth the price. I liked it a lot, but man, if it wasn't a bit confusing. Let's see here. What about the rumor Kathleen Kennedy is gone, or the article Variety published stating James Gunn is writing next Superman movie with a younger Superman not starting? I don't know. That's something we can talk about in the next segment, though. But yeah, I think Batman Spawn is good, but it's good. Like, if I were to rate this out of, like... Do I want to go 4 stars out of it? 4-star total? Um, no, let's do it like this. Out of 10, I would give it like a 7, 7.5. It's good. It's not amazing. But if you're fans of these characters, I recommend it. It was neat to see the court involved. I wasn't expecting that. You see someone with a mask on, and you're like, whoa, so the Court of Owls in the story too? I don't know if they're fully going to explain if it was like Malebolgia, which is the Lucifer type of devil in Spawn, if he's the one behind this or what. But yeah, all of a sudden it's Joker, and it's Joker with his, like, you know, peeled off face. So, like, from years ago, right? And then he's got these little, like, mini Jokers that have Violator makeup on. Like, there's crazy stuff in this book. But yes, I did like it. I just didn't love it. Okay. I'm going to send this book straight to hell. I mean, it doesn't really deserve that, right? I mean, it was good. You know, it doesn't really deserve to go to hell, but... So, okay, Kathleen Kennedy being gone, I haven't heard anything about that, so I can't comment on that. James Gunn did say that the Hollywood Reporter, I think it was, or was it Variety? He said that someone had some big piece of information incorrect today. One thing that's really interesting is how James Gunn, who with Peter Safran, I believe is his name, are like in charge of the DC movies at WB, and how open he's being with fans. Like, I don't even know if WB, you know, movies even wants that, to be honest. But yeah, it's pretty neat. He's constantly giving updates. He mentioned that in early 2023, early New Year, or early next year, I'm sorry, he's going to start letting us know what some of the slate is that's coming of movies. And maybe even TV. I'm guessing not just movies, right? So that was neat to hear. That was really cool to hear. A younger Superman not starring Henry Cavill. Yeah, I don't know. One of the issues I have with DC movies, more than any like MCU or anything, is there's the feeling that they don't know exactly what they want to do or what they want to get from the movies. Like, then why would you have Cavill? Okay, I'm sorry, it's a spoiler, everybody, but the only way this makes sense is I say this, okay? Superman shows up at the end of Black Adam. It's Henry Cavill. So how do you explain that? Why would you even go through that trouble of making that happen if you're not going to use him at all? I would almost at this point say, and this will sound insane, I understand that, have the Batman as its own thing, right? It's also getting an HBO Max series, but it's still part of that world and not part of the DCU. Okay? Have Cavill Superman with Amy Adams as Lois, have that be its own thing too. Have that be its own thing, and then do a DCU version of Superman and maybe make him a younger Superman. If you can trust your audience to understand and say, oh, there's a separate Batman and it's this universe versus what's in this other universe, you can do the same thing with Superman or other heroes. You can do that. I have no idea, Misplaced. I haven't heard anything about it. Oh, well, see, how could I know that, Mike? You might as well be a time traveler and say, like, oh, James Gunn tweets it next week. What do you think? Like that. You can't fault timing. Well, see, honestly, though, that usually works out for this show because it's neat to be able to be. Like, I had some information last week that was, no joke, an hour before the show started. Um, so there's a neat element of it being live. Yeah, that's upsetting for Cavill, but also keep in mind Cavill is an in-demand actor, so I'm certain he's going to get some other really great roles. The sad thing is he may have turned down some great roles in the interim. That could have happened for sure. Now that we have this like moment where we can talk and everything, did everybody see the new Scream trailer? The Scream 6 trailer. And then yesterday, I believe it was the trailer for Spider-Man Across the Multiverse. I might have that title wrong. I'm sorry if I do. Bits and pieces of info. I can't go so far as to say I'm not going to watch a Superman film if Cavill's not in it. I can't go that far. I like him very much, but if they have a new vision and that, yeah, I don't think it's fair for me then to say that to this new upcoming actor who's going to be Superman, because that's what they could do. They could go with a young upcomer. Yeah, Scream 6. It comes out in March, Misplaced. It is the sequel to the previous Scream. Jenna Ortega, and I apologize, I don't know the actress who played her sister in the movie. They're in it. They're in the trailer, at least. It takes place in New York. And it's got some humorous, dark vibes as well. Well, humorous and dark, as well as, like, Jason Takes Manhattan vibes. So I don't know what to think. Okay, and now you won't watch The Witcher without Cavill. Okay. I won't watch Cavill without Cavill. I need Cavill in my Cavill. Oh, Misplaced. I wanted him right away as Superman. So I was a fan of Henry Cavill with a TV show on Showtime called The Tudors, which was about King Henry. And he played one of King Henry's best friends, Henry Cavill. And I was like, oh, this guy's really good. And that was a British production. So, like, really good British actor in a good British series. And oh my God, what's her name? I'm trying to remember her name now. The actress who played Anne Boleyn in The Tudors was on Game of Thrones. Natalie Dormer, like when no one knew who Natalie Dormer was Anne Boleyn on The Tudors. You're a Cavill stan? Disappointing the writers not add more to Geralt from someone who has read the books, but I will see it. Yeah, I don't know exactly what they're doing there. I mentioned earlier, though, everybody, that they have the Witcher 3 update for next gen. So I thought that was pretty exciting. I might actually play it myself. I like The Tudors a lot. I liked it very much. And Sam Neill as I believe a cardinal. I believe it was a cardinal. He was great. James Frain, I think another British actor, was phenomenal in The Tudors. I liked it very much. Awesome, Misplaced. Yeah, if you happen to own Witcher 3, the update is free. Or if, I guess, even if you, like, buy The Witcher 3, you get the update, you know, and... Yeah, and most people are saying the update's really well done, too. Let's see, I can also comment on Midnight Suns. I love it. I love it. I'm trying to get better at the strategy and a little bit quicker at using the cards and making decisions. But it's like, as soon as I'm about to do something, I'm like, oh no! And I notice another enemy or another obstacle I have to worry about. But I think it's a great game, and I still can't believe we got a AAA Marvel RPG involved in the supernatural part of Marvel. Like, there are people that have spent 200 hours, if not more. King Greek, I believe, spent over 200 hours on it. 60 to 70 hours is the normal play time before getting to endgame. I mean... Not even for Cavill when he played Witcher in Netflix. Oh, see, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Like, I've always been a huge Cavill fan. Like, I knew what his skills were. And, like, when I thought of him as Superman, I was like, that's really a good idea. Like, that's really good. Yeah, I know the whole Witcher situation's kind of wild. That's a rough situation, man. To take that role after Cavill had it. I would not want to do that. Luckily, I'm not. Let's see. I'm trying to think what I might review next week. Not the She-Hulk omnibus. That would kill me at 760 pages. You know what? I did Something is Killing the Children last month, so I'm not going to do the new issue of that, even though I'd like to. Possibly the Black Cat Mary Jane book. I mean, obviously DC had books coming out too, but like there was nothing that was like, oh man, I gotta talk about this. Yeah, it's really weird though too to see like what's going on with streaming, right? Like, has everyone heard about HBO Max getting rid of Westworld? I loved Westworld. So they're not just getting rid of it and not having a new season. They're just getting rid of the show itself. Like, it's leaving HBO Max. Now, how crazy are they? Are they going to be like, well, we don't need The Sopranos? Like, I mean, I would have thought there was no way that Westworld could leave. Okay? Especially because the final season just ended like 3-4 months ago. If it would have left, I would have figured 5 years from now, maybe. Like, the show was on TV for 4 years on HBO. But at this point, yeah, nothing would surprise me. If HBO Max is like, we're selling The Wire, we're selling Sopranos, it wouldn't surprise me at this point. They're making such crazy decisions at HBO Max. Or WB even, really. I don't understand. They may not want people to subscribe. That's a great question, Mike. I mentioned this to you briefly. If anyone doesn't know, Mike and I are friends in real life. I mentioned this briefly the other night that my thought was that Zaslav might be a really good executive for other companies. And, you know, Discovery was a different situation, and he's running it the same way he would have with Discovery, that's what he's doing with HBO Max. And one size does not always fits all, everybody. And like I mentioned before, it doesn't even really matter. He's going to get a golden parachute and go to Quiznos, you know? Like, he'll go to another company and try to run it the same way, or maybe he'll learn a lesson here. I don't know. But man, there have been so many insane decisions. No! I haven't seen Raised by Wolves yet. How long is it going to be there? Oh god, that's like 2 seasons, I think. I heard Raised by Wolves is an awesome science fiction series, everybody. I've not seen it yet, though. Misplaced. No. It's honestly these insane decisions ever since Zaslav and Discovery took over HBO Max. Just insane. Like, even people in the industry are like, what the hell's going on here? Like, there have to be other ways for them to recoup money. It's lunacy. Why did they even buy it in the first place? Like, I think Mike asked that the other day. Why did they even make the purchase? If they were just gonna... One of the only decisions Zaslav has made that was good was getting Safran and James Gunn involved for the DCU. That was a good decision. That's one of the few. As soon as, like, the Batgirl movie... I'm sorry, not Batgirl. Batwoman was canceled. It was like, what? Actually, no, was it Batgirl? Now I don't even know. I think it was Batgirl. Sorry. But yes, I will say this, Misplaced. House of the Dragon Season 1 was awesome. It was great. It's some of the best, like, I compare it to, like, the best moments of Game of Thrones for an entire season. It was really good. I think they will go down in history and be like the Zaslav period. And be like, this is what's not to do in the streaming world. I honestly think that. Like, that's how insane his decisions have been. I don't know if he has a degree based on his decisions, Misplaced. Oh, that's naughty of me to say, I know. But I don't know what to think. When contemporaries at other streaming companies are like, what's going on there? Then, you know, it's an issue. Apparently what happened with, like, the Batgirl movie as, like, damn near never happened. Maybe once or twice in the history of Hollywood. A completed movie just getting shelved, and I think they decided not to shelve it. I think they destroyed it. Especially when they were going to try to bring back Keaton's Batman. I'm so confused right now. He has degree deodorant. That's his degree. Like, everybody, I want to thank you all very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And I believe I have this correct. I'm hoping I don't screw this up. On Saturday, Doomkiller HD is going to be doing the block party, the Doom Squad Gaming block party. Also, Fez's Nerdy Life, I believe, is doing an awesome, amazing stream, and it's almost like kind of like a dual block party for Doom Squad Gaming, of which I am a proud member of. Also, you can catch me on Twitch. This makes it sound like I'm a comedian, right? Like, You can catch me on Leno. I got a great 5 minutes of something. No, that's not even possible. Leno's not even on anymore. See? But no, you can catch me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Hoardergamer. And right now I'm doing Midnight Suns. I'll be doing some God of War again soon, but I've been really loving Midnight Suns. Also, I did some Marvel's Avengers recently, and I know Gotham Knights, I want to get some new gear. So I'll be playing some more of that soon. But everybody, thank you very much. And whether you watch this live or like, you know, at your leisure, thank you. And I'll see you next week, 8 p.m. Central, with another episode of Hoarder's Comic Flex. Thank you. Bye-bye.